It's not started yet. Garrett, what are you doing?
I'm preparing for the zombie apocalypse. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm trying to listen to my birds.
Okay, that's not how you prepare for the zombie apocalypse.
What do you mean?
Let's switch places. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about that. I've had Garrett watching a lot of movies with us, and evidently this week, instead of just surviving zombie apocalypse, we need to cover what not to do. Bird boxes, you'll find out, are not the thing to do during a zombie apocalypse. So that being said, I would like to hear from our audience some of the suggestions, ideas that you may have on what we should not do during a zombie apocalypse. While I wait for some of those responses, what I'll tell you are a lot of things that you see on television, a lot of warnings you may get from the internet, from media, from other programs. Don't always believe them. Definitely do your research. A lot of us think we know what we're doing. When the time comes, that'll make the difference between whether you make it or not. One of the first rules of what not to do: set zombies on fire. I know it sounds cool to all the pyromaniacs out there, but don't set zombies on fire, because now not only do you have a zombie coming after you, you have a flaming zombie. And when you try to run to safety, it's going to burn all of your stuff as well. Your house is going to catch fire. All that bright light, all that noise it's going to make, it's going to attract more zombies. Not going out on your own, it's a good suggestion. Unless you're scouting, and then sometimes more than one person can attract more attention than you want. Your only weapon is a gun. Not a good idea. Guns make noise. Once you run out of ammunition, you're done. Garrett had it right with his axe. Renewable has been pulled up. And why is that? Because if you've seen in movies, or if you've ever been a little girl on the playground, once your hair gets caught, it hurts. For the guys out there that have had long hair, you might know what I'm talking about as well. You will get pulled back, so either keep your head shaved or your hair pulled up. Other things not to do during a zombie apocalypse. Setting off fireworks, that's true. Squealing, definitely, those are things that you don't want to do. Being fashionable, you're going to mess up your manicure. Wearing a hoodie, not a good idea. Same as you can be pulled back by your hair, you can be pulled back by your hoodie. Some other things not to worry about: the latest style in shoes, not the best thing to wear. Fashionable shorts, that prom dress that you wanted to get one more wear out of, a tux, coattails. This is not the time to be fashionable. This is the time to be practical. Those are things that you need to think about if you expect to survive. Zombie relationships. They're a big no-no during the zombie apocalypse. Well, he's not quite a zombie. We could go out on a date or two. No, you can't. You don't know how fast that virus is going to take him over. Or you don't know how fast she's going to go from I'm a human to I'm a reanimated corpse. Therefore, no zombie relationships. This is not the time to think about that. If you're married, this is not the time to think about maybe we should have a kid. You know what else is spooky besides flaming zombies? Baby zombies. They're not cute. It's a little gross, a little scary. Because do they want milk? Do they want flesh? Do they want brains? Just don't do it. No one's ever seen a baby zombie and be like, oh, it's so adorable. Yeah. Zombie apocalypse, not the time to work on finding that perfect relationship. Coast is clear. A lot of people say, hey, nobody else has had a chance to go into this room, and they don't check the room. That's a big no-no. You want to make sure the area is safe. Don't just take for granted. Make sure that the coast really is clear. And don't just take people's word for it. We have some lazy people in this world. Be like, yeah, I already checked it. No, not really. I know we covered this in episode 1. Don't hide in the basement. That's for tornadoes. Zombies and tornadoes are not the same thing. Don't get those confused. Once you get in the basement, basements have one way in and one way out. You just made it easier for the zombies. And zombies aren't good climbers. But guess what they can do? Fall into basements, fall down the stairs. Don't go in the basement. Don't make noise. That's why we're not going to squeal. That's why we're not going to have fireworks. We're not going to make noise. We're not going to have parties. We're not going to make announcements over the loudspeaker. We're not going to honk the horn on the car twice to tell somebody to come on out. It's not going to happen. Because guess what else likes noise? Zombies. That's what they're attracted to. That, brains, and of course human flesh. Adopt a pet. This is not the time to decide you need a dog sidekick or you need a cat. Guess what doesn't know how to be quiet when a zombie comes? A dog. Guess what doesn't know how to stay put? A cat. When people see well-fed cats, they're going to chase them. When zombies see food, they're going to go after it. And the last thing you need is your cat running back to you for safety with all these zombies chasing them. You're not adopting a pet. That's the other reason we're not having bird boxes in the zombie apocalypse. Populated areas. No, it's not safer in the city. Guess what the city had? Lots more people. Guess what else that means? Lots more zombies. You want to avoid highly populated areas because 1, there'll be a lot of jerks there that just want to take your stuff. 2, there's going to be a lot of zombies there that just want to eat all your stuff. Mainly they just want to eat you. If you just want to give up, by all means, this is the time to visit New Orleans and Miami and New York and San Francisco. I'm sure there's plenty of zombies that would love to see you. Remember, media is propaganda. Chances are the government thinks, oh, you know what? We still got a chance to turn this around. Or if one, y'all have seen it on politics whether you like it or not. If one party thinks everything's okay, the other will say it's not. And then 2, we may have other countries that take this zombie apocalypse as the opportunity to take us out. So just remember, media is propaganda. During a zombie apocalypse, you want to see it before you believe it. Another thing, that mistake you don't want to make. Don't harbor zombies. She used to be your grandmother, but then she died and she came back. Now she's a zombie. That used to be your kid. Not now. Now it's a zombie. You don't harbor zombies. Zombies have to go. And I hate that I have to bring this up, but don't keep zombie parts. They're not good trophies. That is actually that zombie part, that zombie hand, that zombie foot, that, hey, let me keep this zombie head. That is a living specimen of the bacteria or virus that can turn the rest of your little tribe of people into zombies. There's nothing good that comes from keeping zombie parts. It's creepy, it's ugly, and I'm a little concerned that some of you thought to do this. No. Don't get in a car. I'm not saying if you were driving along and you stop and get out, you don't get back in, because at least you knew that car was working. You're running from zombies and, oh, there's a car. Don't get in it. It's not safe. This is one of the times, like, have you seen how fast things can swarm a car? Unless the vehicle you're in can run over some zombie butt, you don't need to be in it. The next big mistake, things you don't want to do during a zombie apocalypse, investigate. See me move? Nope, not doing it. I don't care. Breaking glass? Not going to go look. Somebody screaming? Not checking it out. Strange shadow? Not looking at that either. The person that investigates is the person that gets to be eaten by the zombies first. That's your first. I want to go see what that was. No, you don't. You want to live. Stay alert, stay alive. That's your rules. Don't investigate. Don't go to try to find a cure. You've not even made it out of high school. You are now doing basically homeschool high school. Unless you were a virologist, a Scientologist, or a epidemiologist before, where you studied this stuff and you were working on cures to things before, now is not the time where some strain of genius is coming through and suddenly you're going to find a cure for zombies. They're dead. Somebody else is working on this. You need to focus on staying alive. So when whoever these geniuses are that come up with the cure, you'll be there to help them test it. Overconfidence. Overconfidence. Oh, you managed to get out of that apartment building, therefore you know what you're doing. Maybe it was luck. Maybe somebody was helping you and you didn't realize it. That being said, overconfidence, people tend to think if they successfully navigate something once, they're done. They know what they're doing. That's not how this works. Return home. And I know the first episode we talked about trying to get home. I'm talking about returning home. You decide that you're going to grab your bug out bag and leave. You don't change your mind and then turn around and go, I think I'll go back home. Unless you had somebody that remained at home to make sure that your perimeter was not breached, the rooms remained clear, and everything is still in order, you're not going back in there. It's like a zombie trap. You ever watch Bugs Bunny? Got the box with a little stick. Something goes in there and then boom, it's caught. That's you going back home. Don't do it. Touch a zombie. This is not the time to dare somebody to touch a zombie. This is not the time to play what are the odds you'll touch a zombie. That's not how this works. This zombie is a decaying corpse full of virus that can infect you. You don't keep parts, you don't harbor zombies, and you don't go up and touch them. It's gross. Other things you don't do during a zombie apocalypse: hide bites. If you've been bitten, be honest. You know it's coming. Don't be the jerk that says, oh, if I'm a zombie, everybody's going to be a zombie. If I got bit, everybody's going to be bit. Don't be that person. That's why next week, or when we start talking about building your team, you don't want this person that's going to hide that bite to be on your team. Instead, you want everybody to know, hey, I did get bit, so they can help you watch for signs that you're becoming a zombie. Drugs or alcohol. There's enough going on without you being in an altered state of mind. Also, let's say you get bit and you had some kind of drug in your system. Guess what? Maybe you make a super zombie. Got to think about other people sometimes. We've said this, surviving a zombie apocalypse is not something you can do alone. No turf wars. You don't like your neighbors? You both survive. Now is not the time to fight. You know what happens during turf wars? You waste your ammunition, you waste your supplies, and you make a lot of noise. All you did is have a zombie barbecue. You might as well set the zombies on fire at that point, because it's not going to get much worse. No turf wars. Either leave them alone. Oh, that's just best. Just leave them alone. If you can't be friends, if you can't be nice, be quiet. That's what you do. Don't be lured by safe locations. There is no safe location. That's what you have to remember. Unless you've went in and cleared the area, or thinking like this is the best place, it might seem like a good idea, but never treat it like it's safe. Stay alert, stay alive. That's what gets us through it. Other mistakes people make. things you shouldn't do during a zombie apocalypse. Get emotional. Yeah, it's sad. You really liked that person. They were your best friend, and now they're a zombie. Somebody didn't like your idea. They didn't secure the perimeter the way you wanted. If you're going to be emotional, then you might as well be zombie fodder. There's no time for that. You need a level head. You need to be thinking clearly, and there's no time for emotions to be in the way. It's all about survival. Other mistakes. Tan lines. Yes, you're going to have tan lines. You can't be worried about these. It's going to be a big deterrent to your survival. Other mistakes, and I'm so sorry I have to bring these up. No open-toed shoes. That's just a good rule of thumb in life. No open-toed shoes. Unless you're gallivanting on the beach and you don't want to get sand all in your shoes, you need to protect your toes. You don't like the zombie apocalypse? You don't get to go protest. Remember, zombies like noise. That'll be the first thing they're attracted to is you in your big group having your protest with your signs. I know you might think those signs turn as weapons. Not really the case. So these are some really good rules that we have on how things you shouldn't do. I know we've talked before about some things to do during a zombie apocalypse, but I thought it really important with some of the comments and some of the feedback. I got to tell everyone, like, these are the things that you shouldn't do. And you knowing that means it's really critical for you to pick a team that knows that as well. So stay tuned for our next session when we talk about our zombie prep team, where we're going to help you pick which people need to be part of your zombie prep team. Thank you all for joining us. Be prepared. There's a good chance the zombies are already out there. If you're not sure what the signs are, please go back and watch episode 3 where we discuss signs of zombification and exactly what a zombie is. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Jolene's Survival with the Zombie Apocalypse.